What about mental health? Did you notice improvements in mood and general stability of mood, or clearer thinking, or is
Very
that
subtly, very subtly. It was never the goal in the beginning because it was purely and simply just about the weight. It was by far and away the most visible of issues for me. When it came to the mental side, for me, it was just a lack of awareness of what the other possibilities in life could even be. Being fat was just my normal, and the consequences, both physical and mental, were just my normal. People might ask me, would you have ever been depressed? I've never been diagnosed as depressed. I've been told that I have at times exhibited, symptoms of depression or PTSD in a couple of instances, but no formal diagnosis. And even if there was any issue sort of in that area, it was, in my mind, just completely and utterly dwarfed by my physical state. That was always the focus. I began to think more about the mental side of things later on in the journey, once I had lost most of my weight. And I'm sort of looking back and realizing all the sorts of things I can do with my life now that I'd chosen to sort of shield myself from. And just that sense of empowerment, I guess, that comes along with that feeling of freedom that you've just never had before. So, I can certainly say now that relative to where I was right now, life just feels awesome. But until then, I really had no frame of reference to go by. It was just whatever I was, however I might have been diagnosed, it was just my normal. It was all I'd ever known. And I know now that things are definitely better, but it is still in subtle ways. I would describe it as perhaps the lows of old not necessarily being so low as they used to be. I'm arguably more productive at work because I can concentrate for longer. I'd stopped snacking for morning and afternoon tea, so I'm not taking those breaks, and that's continued to this day. I stop for work at lunchtime and that's it. And then I just go. Most people will stop for morning and afternoon tea, and I don't, because I just don't need to, because I can maintain that concentration. I can maintain that focus. And that took me quite a while down the track of my journey to actually realize, hey, I can actually do more. I can focus for longer. I can be a more productive human being. Obviously at work, but at home as well, as I'm coming to terms with all of these different ways in which the diet has helped to change my life. Obviously, it all began with me physically, but it ends in so many other ways, where there's other forms of potential to be explored. And a lot of my exploration along those various dimensions is what motivated me to ultimately write the book. I'd kept a journal throughout most of my weight loss journey, without really there having ever been any intention to share it. I'm very secretive about this whole process. But at the same time, I felt that I would benefit from having somebody to talk to, but I wanted to trust that they wouldn't give away the secret. They wouldn't share it with anybody. And in the end, I decided the only person I could trust in that sense was myself. So I started having those conversations with myself in the form of a journal. And after the weight loss, word starts to get around. People would say, oh, you should write a book. And I didn't think I had it in me until I remembered, well, I've actually been journaling for a while now. I could, build upon that with the idea of a book as a potential end goal, if you like. And so there we are. So much of the book, certainly the middle stages of the book, the weight loss chapters, the journey chapters, etc., a lot of that is adapted only very lightly from my journal. So if it feels sort of real and honest and personal, it's because a lot of that was actually written as I was losing the weight at that time, just edited for a more flowing narrative, obviously. But it's all there. It's all real, and that's my story.